You have to be really particular with word choice. And I notice this a lot in written sales. So let's talk about it like email marketing, newsletter marketing, the content on your website. And I speak a few languages, Portuguese, Spanish, and English. And you really understand the importance of word choice when you speak multiple languages, because if you change one little thing, like let me think of an example. So if instead of saying to you, would you consider buying this product today? Would you consider buying this, I don't know what it is, computer that I'm selling, this sales course that I'm selling? Would you consider buying such a thing? You could also say something like, buy this, right? In another language, which is the easiest way to say it. You could say, if you were going to buy this sales course, why would you buy it? You could say, how would you think about purchasing such a thing? In what way would you utilize this sales course in your business? So there are all these really interesting ways to say essentially the same thing, but tweak them and use them in a very specific manner. And what I think a lot of salespeople don't realize is the importance of that. You don't just want to ask somebody, would they buy something? You want to understand, if they were going to buy, how would they buy and why would they buy? And if you understand that, then you know how to target them. You know, I have this copywriting course, and this course is going to be really relevant for your business, I think, for X and Y and Z reasons. If you were to buy a copywriting course like this, I'm not saying you're actually going to buy it at all. I'm just curious in your opinion, if you were to buy one, why would you buy a copywriting course? And then you shut up and listen, which is one of the most important parts of sales. And based upon their response, you might say, oh, that's interesting. So you'd buy a copywriting course because you want to be able to figure out how to actually influence your investment committee, or you want to influence your manager, or you want to influence your boss. It's not even for you to sell to your end client. And then you know how to position your next sales pitch. So you could say, oh, okay. So if you were going to buy a copywriting course like this to influence your manager better in your, I don't know, monthly communications, then when would you need to invest in a copywriting course like that? Like when would you next have to communicate with your manager? And then you have a deadline. So those are the things that I think are really important, not so much in direct selling, but question-based selling, which you can do online in your written format, or you can do spoken. I think the interesting part for selling while presenting is I typically don't sell a lot directly to my clients. What I do is I get them interested and engaging with me. I call it the do they like me test. In most of my business, people don't want to buy my investment products. They don't want to engage with me as an angel investor. They don't want to work with me in my company if we don't have some sort of connection. So when I'm presenting, I'm really just watching them for what is their body language telling me about whether they're interested in this story or not. And then once you have somebody interested in the story, then you can narrow down to start funneling them in your sales funnel and start getting more particular about how you sell to them. But I rarely ever come right out and say, I want to talk to you about XYZ opportunity, investment, sales course, whatever it is you're selling. Would you consider buying it? I try to paint a picture instead. And the picture might be, here's why I started my business. Here's why I got into copywriting. Here's when I messed up, and this is how it helped me. And so instead I'm telling a story instead of trying to sell something to somebody. I want them to ask me to buy it. I want to find the people that are already predisposed to want to buy my course. And I know that by whether they want to engage with me or not.